I just want to briefly mention though that they do this every time. They have to be like, oh, and he's a leftist. The killer's a leftist. Maybe he's like, a hardcore Republican and tries to kill Trump. We're still gonna say he's a leftist. He has to be leftist. So like Ted Cruz comes out and says that this guy's views show that leftism is a mental disease. And what he seems to be referring to there is that the guy apparently thought, well, peaceful protest doesn't get any attention, so you have to use violent protest or whatever. Aside from that, anyone at this point trying to make like a clear delineation of what this guy's politics are, I don't think it's as clear cut as Ted Cruz wants you to think. Like he seems really into like the sort of like technocratic tech bro thing. Like he's into some manosphere stuff. Like, yeah, he seems to want people to have health insurance, but I got news for you, Ted Cruz and Jesse Waters. A lot of Republicans also want people to have health insurance. And I'll point out, by the way, Ted Cruz, if some sort of ideological similarity or whatever means that your ideology is inherently broken, the guy wanted bans on porn and sex toys. Ted Cruz, that's your thing. You're the one calling for those. He seems to agree with you in that. His only criticism of Jordan Peterson was that he was not concise enough with his language. He didn't seem to have a huge problem with him. He thought that America was falling like the Roman Empire. I'm just saying, if you want to tie him to the right, there's also quite a bit of material there. I think the most accurate read right now is that we don't know. And also there's probably some mental illness in there. There's probably some ideological stuff. There's probably some mental illness as well. They just have to spin it in a way that they think benefits themselves as much as they can.
There's also some trauma there, right? Wasn't he?
Of course, yeah.
Got some issues, some medical issues that he was speaking to.
Spine issues. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the interesting thing, first of all, Ted Cruz tried to cook bacon with bullets. He's null and void to me. I think of him and I think of the upside down. But, anybody who tries to ban sex toys is probably desperate for using them. And it's something that it's projection more than it is anything else. Yeah. And that's my take. But I just think it's interesting that we are always trying to politicize things, that we are always trying to attribute things to political parties. That's how deranged some Americans have become, that they have not had personalities or identities. And now everything about you is your political party. And that just shows how you didn't develop a personality until the internet. And now you're a right winger or you're a lefty. There are so many more aspects to human life than just your political affiliation. Think about how you live your day, how much of your day is consumed by politics. And if you're not a politician or working in policy, if the majority of your day is consumed by politics, there's probably something going on with you where you should go seek help.
I agree. That describes me pretty well.
No, you work in this. This is what you do.
I'm like starting to sweat. It's making me sweat.
No, you do this. This is what you do. But you see these people and they're out spouting misinformation constantly because they read an article on the internet. This is not about politics. This is not a partisan issue. This young man, this is not a partisan issue, but they're always trying to politicize everything because they're thinking about the next election.
When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?